Good day, YouTube. 17th of January, 2022. We are behind the wheel of my 93 Geo Tracker. We got it in the shop today. Yesterday did a video where I tore the engine down a little bit and replaced the water pump. It was leaking. Put a timing belt and tensioner, new fan belts, that kind of thing. Got the whole thing wrapped up and took it out for a drive for a couple hours last night. She's running as good as ever, and she's not leaking no more. Got some heater things to work on today. A little bit of backstory. When I bought this a few years ago, 2.5 years ago, something like that, the fan switch, the fan only works on the two upper speeds. The two lower speeds don't work. Occasionally, the second speed works. So, look around a little bit on the internet. Highway 83 Suzuki YouTube page has a good demo on. Looks like that switch is coming apart. So we're gonna take that apart today. Have a look at that. Also, I always feel cold air coming out from here. You can turn the heater on and it will mask that, but without the heater on a cold day, you always feel cold air, and I have a feeling that this isn't doing anything. Okay, it has resistance on it, but I think the resistance is here, not anywhere else. So that's an issue. And shortly after I got it, this came unstowed, so it's not doing anything either. Luckily, it's stuck in the defrost position all the way there. And I remember I was like, oh, I gave it a pretty good pull, and it went bam, and now it's kind of freewheels. So we got quite a few issues going on with the heater. Luckily, this still works, and it still heats the cabin, and it still defrosts the window and all that stuff. But it would sure be nice to have that fixed. On the Facebook groups page for Geo Tracker Suzuki Sidekicks, or side tracks as I call them, and they said it was pretty difficult to get to these things, but again, shout out to Highway 83 Suzuki's YouTube channel. Pull the glove box out and get to that stuff doesn't really appear to be that big of a deal. So we're going to get into that. So it's pretty cold out this morning. It's in the 30s, so if you can see or not. I have a heater going inside, and that radios never fit well. I don't know if I can fix that or not. Some things I can live with, some things would be nice to fix. We'll dig in. So first thing I'm going to do is, pull the ashtray out. If I can get it out with my attachments on there. Never have too many attachments. There we go. Supposed to be a couple screws. Well, there is on the newer ones anyway. Oh, there's one. So let me find the screws. We'll pull these off of here. Yeah. Throw them in the cup holder. And then this thing should come off. Oh, we've got a wire for the light. And then there's a couple screws there, so let me start taking some screws out, disassembling this thing a little bit, and we'll get to it. Also, these things kind of fall out, so I'm gluing them in today. I don't want to lose them. They don't have to be adjusted up and down, so I'm probably going to take some black silicone from the backside and glue those in as soon as I get that out so it has a chance to dry. They can blow straight out. You can still go side to side. That adjustment still works, but I don't like it when they try to fall out. So, all right, we're digging in. We're going to make this heater work. I'm actually pretty excited about that because it's some of the little things that kind of irritate me about this, and if I can fix them, or most of them, I'd be pretty happy. Here we go. All right, here's a little update of what I found. So my temperature, or my direction selector, gosh, that's going to be a tough one to get back in there with a light. But there is actually a pivot, a nylon pivot back there that had this lever had fallen off of. So it wasn't a cable issue. It's a pivot issue. So what I did is I stuck a long screwdriver in after I lined it up, and I pushed down. I actually had to slide another screwdriver down underneath to support it, and between the two, I shoved the far end of this lever down back over the pivot. And so now it's in there. Okay, it's still a little stiff to move. I'm going to have to be careful with it because that pivot's probably kind of wore. And I am not tearing the dash out of this thing to fix that. So we'll probably get it back over into the area of the defrost, and we're going to run with it. It was fine. The fan was exactly like Highway 83 Suzuki suggested it would be, in that the switch is coming apart. You can see it move there. So I'm going to clean up the top of this. I've got a couple bungee cords to put this in a position I can get to it. And we're going to get in there and clamp this down. You can really see it moving. And I'm going to use like a plastic epoxy all the way around this thing, and then just let it sit for an hour or two. Okay? And then hopefully I'll have my fan speeds back, because that'd be pretty cool. I looked at the fresh air adjustment here. It's moving the cable on this end. So any issues that it may or may not have is on the other end. Again, when I move this lever, I just don't feel like it does anything. And I always have cold air coming out from the passenger side. So we'll dig in there and look at that while this stuff is drying. So I'm going to get some cleaner, and we're going to clean the plastic up real good. We're going to rough it up with a Scotch-Brite pad. We're going to mix up some epoxy, and we're going to glue that back down after we get some sort of clamp on it. Then we're going to let it sit forever, whatever that is, to make sure it fits real good. So that's, we're making progress. Pretty good. The radio, so this is a kit that somebody put in here, but the radio is slipped back. So I might try to fiddle with it, see if I can get that radio out and fit in there properly. I don't really know what's up. It's not the greatest radio in the world, but it is a radio. And you know what? I don't use CD player much anymore. I'd actually be happy with a stock AM/FM back in the hole. I just don't. I imagine the hole's been cut though. So anyway, I'm not gonna fiddle with it too much, but it is a little ugly, so I'll fiddle with it a little bit. All right, so I'll check back with you when I get that thing all glued up, and we'll look at that radio, and then we're going to pull the glove box and see about that fresh air vent. But here we go. All right, here's what we've got going. We got that switch all glued up. I did some digging around what I had I was thinking about using an epoxy, but I found this Loctite super glue, professional liquid. So that's what I used. Kind of gave it a double coat. The radio is just sitting in there. I pulled it out to hopefully it's a good spot, and I used some black silicone adhesive on both ends there to lock it in place. That's what we're doing. It doesn't have any latching mechanisms on it. I ain't gonna fiddle with it. Not that big a deal to me. We'll just let that adhesive set, and it won't fall deeper in the dash. Hope it still works. All right, what do we got? What is that? Oh, cool. It's a little cover. Didn't know. Cover that up. All right, but we have issues. So I told you I always have cold air coming in here. Oh, look at this. The heater is no longer attached. It's just hanging here. the bracket, which bolts up here, somebody's got some piece of metal there that must have been hanging onto this thing with a tie wrap or something. Anyway, it has fallen. It's not doing what it's supposed to do, and that's why I've got all the cold air coming in. So I need a new heater box. So, yeah, that's weird. Just hanging on there for dear life, I guess. So I got to figure out how long it's going to take to get one, and develop a plan if I'm going to pull this out today or what. So anyway, I'll do some digging. I'll see what I come up with, and I may or may not end this video here while I get parts coming. It might take a week or two, and not sure when I can get back on this. I don't want to disable it. It's been working okay for 3 years this way. It'll work a little longer, but she's falling apart, and I need to make it right. So I'll come back and show you what I find. Alright, I went on the computer there a little bit, tried to find a heater box unsuccessfully. I'm sure I could find one, but I'm not working today. It's a Monday. Not working tomorrow. I want to wrap this thing up, be done, because I got other things I want to work on. So, you know, it's always, I need one, but I need it today, and that really isn't going to happen. But the bottom bracket on that heater is still intact and attached. It's the top bracket that broke, little plastic thing. So, yeah, they probably launched it off a jump or something, and broke it. So I'm thinking, so I got this blue wire right here. I soldered an end on. I crimped and then soldered it. You might see where I'm going here. I'm going to take those two screws that are used to attach the top of this thing. I'm going to take and attach one end of this wire, go around the back side of the heater box, come up the front side, and attach the other wire, other end, to where the other screw hole is. But in the middle of that, I'm going to throw a turnbuckle in so I can strap that thing tight. So what we're headed for here is a strap just made out of 14 gauge electrical wire, but you know, it's going to strap that thing in there real tight. It's not going anywhere. It'll probably be better and tighter than what was there. It's all hidden behind a dash. You never see it. I mean, I've never noticed that box hanging there. I've owned this car 3 years. Believe it or not, the heater doesn't work that bad. And we've taken it over the pass, 20 degrees in snowstorm. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't too bad. And that big old... my wife would always complain about the cold air coming in, and now we know why. Anyway, I'm going to solder this onto here. We're going to crimp it first so we have both a mechanical and a soldered connection. And then we'll go get some lengths for what this wire should be. We'll get the other two connectors on it. We're going to strap it and call it good. Oh, and the vent had just come off the other end because, you know, the whole thing fell. So we're going to heat this up. Throw some solder on it. Like so. Alright, I'm going to go kind of attach this and get a length all the way around, and we'll get a piece, you know, cut out of it obviously so we can get the turnbuckle in there. We'll get both of these ends attached, put the turnbuckle in, and we're going to cinch that thing up into place. It's going to be there forever, and somebody's going to go, why did somebody do this? Well, it's going to work. I'm going to tell you it's going to work. Check back with you a little bit. But we got her in there, so we use one of the bolts to hold that wire. It goes around the back, goes around underneath, comes back up to the turnbuckle, back up to the other bolt. So it is super sturdy. It's probably sturdier than it ever was. And the fresh air works now. That's awesome. I'm actually going to anxious to drive it with a fully functioning heater. I think I got through everything I needed to. That's awesome. Now I gotta do is put everything back together. Oh, very dark. And we'll conclude this. Alright, here we go. Let's get her back. Alright, gang. We are all back together. Feeling pretty good about it. Check this out. Shut the door. Shut the beeper. Why is it beeping? Alright. Fan on. Off. Fan on low. It's never worked since I've owned it. Oop, second gear. Third gear. High gear. Off. Vent's gonna work. I mean, the outside air. This gonna work. I'm gonna be careful not to push it too far. I can hear the defrost kicking in. And then this has always been okay, so we're good to go. So, and then we got the heater put up. Look at that. I'm actually pretty happy with it. No more cold air coming in. I don't have to run the heater on high all the time. And I can change, I can actually have air coming out the vents. It'd be nice this summer to have cool air coming out the vents because I've never been able to do that before. So, wow, accomplished what I needed to. Right on, guys. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Hang around and watch another one. That'd be cool. Thumbs up on the way out the door. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll catch you on the next video.